I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, I totally missed the beat on that. Guys, welcome back to Station 19 After Show. I'm one of your hosts, Linda Antwi, and to my beautiful left is...
Tsahai. Happy hump day. No, day after hump day. It's Thursday.
How about happy pre-Valentine's Day?
Right, happy Galentine's
Get
Day.
your Valentines together, y'all.
Right, it's all about love.
Listen, it was all about love this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Love and tears and babies. What were your overall thoughts?
I loved it. Jack's childhood tore me up. It was so sad. It really explained a lot about him. It actually made me love him.
1000%.
Yeah.
So, Jack, I'm not going to judge you because you are, in this married relationship, infidelity business, cheating business, because now I know your backstory.
Yeah.
And your backstory made me love you. And it kind of showed me that it's the reason why he got into firefighting and why he's a firefighter.
Yep.
Shows me why he is so closed off a little bit. It's because he moved around so much. I learned about this sister of his that I want to know more. Where's your deaf sister and why are you guys not in contact and why haven't we seen more of her? So maybe we will see more of her.
Hopefully, yeah. And the little brother too.
And the little brother, I think that his biological family took him.
That's who that man was?
Yeah,
okay.
and said, hey, peace out. You two were the foster kids, adopted kids, whatever.
Sad.
I know it's sad, right?
I know. And then it also explains why he always needs to have somebody in his life, like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because he has a void to fill. And so that may apply to some of the guys that we've all dated sometimes. So there's sometimes a little bit of a backstory there.
Right, get the backstory. And you know what? Now that we're talking about the backstory also, what I thought was interesting? Because remember when we met him in season 1, he was proposing to Andy.
Right.
Why did Andy know nothing about this? You're about to marry this dude and you know nothing about his background?
Right, because she didn't know about the house
didn't
where
know
he
about the
lived.
house, none of it.
Men hold information all the time.
Well, I was just thinking I guess Andy did the right thing because she didn't even really know that dude.
True.
Right? True. Lust and love are completely separate things. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, because it might look like they have a comeback going on here.
Oh, yeah. Excited about that. And I think Maya is going to be mad.
Yeah, Maya's going to be really upset because she pushed him away for this promotion, but she doesn't mean she wants him to be with Maya again. Or, excuse me, with Andy again.
Yeah, she's a competitor.
Okay, so what did you think about the dynamics between Maya and Andy? So we see Maya do the olive branch in the very beginning of the episode where she's making the shake and getting ready for that first day as captain. And Maya just really rebukes her.
I think it's part of Maya being a controlling person. She's like, she thinks it's helpful, but some of her social skills are lacking because she's so competitive sometimes, and she's so used to thinking about herself. So when she's making Andy this protein shake that is the right amount of protein that she needs, girl, worry about yourself. Nobody needs to worry about my protein. I'm going to worry about myself and my healing over the whole Ryan death. And you trying to be my friend at home, but then be mean to me at work is not working.
Is that what she was doing? Was she being mean or was she being the boss?
I don't know, but nobody liked it.
Okay, so here's what did you think of Andy's reaction to her and her insubordination towards her and her bucking back at everything she said? What did you think of that?
I think, that's where the line of friendship gets blurry when you work with your friend. But Andy, I could understand where she was coming from. Yes, she was rude, but at the same time, she was also tired. Maya had them working out for 90 minutes.
No, there's no excuse. Sorry to cut you off, but there is no excuse. Maya was the boss in that situation, and Andy's responses to her and how she was acting, I felt was completely immature.
But I feel like Maya was doing the most. She was doing too much. It was day one. Prep me for what this is gonna. Okay, you tell me, and then next thing you know, we're working out. You're doing the most. Calm down. You just got the job.
Yeah, but you know your friend. Do you know what I mean?
Right, your friend is also mourning, though.
Right, but you know your friend.
Yeah.
So, nuh-uh. She was all the way in the wrong, and yes, she's mourning. But I think that when she said, and it was really. She said she earned the job and she was promised the job. First of all, who promised you the job, Andy? I'd like to know.
True. I was like,
who promised you?
You sound a little bit like a crybaby here.
Right. And then are you saying that Maya and you are not equal in firefighting land.
That's the thing.
Okay, 'cause
sometimes people are friends, but they feel like they're better than their friends. And that's what we saw here.
And that's what we saw here. So again, you're proving my point that I just really feel like Andy was in the wrong and she dealt with this situation wrong. And that's your friend. Did I say that part, guys? That's your friend.
But hello, Maya also stole her boob. So friendship has already been blurred. They have a lot of back history.
But she didn't want him. And you know what's going to be interesting to see? Because we see that Maya and Andy might be back on track at some point, and we'll see how that plays out. Let's talk about... Let's talk about Maya and what she thinks success is. So she has her team all lined up. You see the new battalion chief up there, Sullivan and Dixon, with her, kind of giving her a prep talk.
Yeah.
And then she did that, you know, the celebratory go down the pole thing, right?
Doing the most.
But no, that's when they celebrate. Like, remember we saw that a lot last season?
But she's celebrating by herself and nobody else is celebrating with her?
Oh, wow. You're giving her a hard time this episode.
Because she didn't earn this position.
She didn't?
I mean, she did a good job. And I like her as a boss, but I'm still mad at her about this whole Jack relationship, even though they're broken up, but it still bothers me.
Y'all, you need to chime in the comments because I completely think that she's qualified and she earned this.
And we're in the live chat, you know, Scandalously Addicted said, Andy has seniority. Ashley Powell says, Maya is Andy's friend, but Andy isn't Maya's friend.
Facts.
Ooh. Yes.
Facts.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
So we see her have a bunch of changes right away. So these are her friends, and I thought it was like a completely awkward situation, but these are her friends, and she's like, we're gonna be you should be training like you're training for the Olympics every day. You can be brushing your teeth, you can be shopping, all this stuff, but you're always gonna be in training mode, right? Like that's how she thinks.
This is not the Olympics, this is the fire station.
And then she says it's a big change, and she's asking for your trust, and I thought that was an important moment. So fast forward, we have a couple of things going on. We have this new high-risk patrol thing that is set up by Dixon, where we find out is something that it's really not. And then we have these mandatory workouts. What did you think of mandatory workouts, 90-minute workouts?
Okay, I liked it in theory because I was like, okay, it's a team-building exercise. And I understand she wants to push everyone hard. And again, I think it's coming from a good place, but the execution is wrong. The fact that when Dean showed up, she made everybody work out again. Like, she's doing too much, and you have to kind of prepare people for that. Hello, your friend Andy is coming off of something traumatic. Yes, she wants to be at work, and that's her decision. But I think just the way Maya's going about things, she's, as Sullivan said, the morale is lower than when she wasn't the chief. So she ain't doing the captain, excuse me. She ain't doing the best job, child.
I mean, you got to give her some slack. I think this is her first day. I think that every workout with a trainer, you always hate the trainer, right?
Yeah.
Because they push you beyond your limits. And I think that that's what she was doing here. I think that she just has an athlete mentality.
Yeah, definitely.
And so
she's starting out strong.
I think she's starting out strong. So we'll see what happens with her. We get a super duper surprise. Knock, knock on the door, and JJ's back in Dean's life. And she's brought a friend.
Yeah. She came back with a bang.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of that? And I also wanted to ask you, and I actually wrote your name down specifically, because I know we talked a little bit about this last week. You really were rooting for Maggie and Dean. So what are your feelings on that?
I think there's still hope for Maggie and Dean. Can we give them a couple name? It would be Mean, Daggy. Let's work on that, guys. What would the Dean and Maggie name be? I love the resurgence of Brenda's song. I do not believe this is Dean's baby, but I do think he's going to get attached, and then we're going to find out it's not his baby. Brenda looks great. Her hair color looks great. She was on a previous series where she was a little bit more blonde. I know this is off topic, but she was a little bit more blonde, and I did not like it. She looks great here. But I think she's a wild card. So you just come off the road, and then suddenly, this is Dean's baby. I need a blood test. Show me the receipts, please.
I think that it might be Dean's baby.
No, we need Maury. That's what we need. Maury needs to do a paternity test.
I think it might be Dean's baby, and I think that we've been rooting for Dean to be in a relationship for so long.
Yeah.
And I think that we have, just like how he's explained it, he's had like a specific way. Like he wants to meet the one, have the bachelor party, you know, get married, travel the world, then have a baby. Like he had a specific way. And I think oftentimes we all have that kind of thing in our mind. Like we're set in how our life is going to be and we think we know what it's going to look like. And then it doesn't look like any of it ever. So perhaps this is his happily ever after. We just didn't know it because we didn't think it was going to look like this. So I hope to see more of JJ, her character. And I hope that, I think he's going to be there for her because he's a stand-up type of person. But I hope they get back together, actually. I want to see this
Really?
yeah, I do. I want to see this as a couple and the next chapter for him.
But
family and baby.
But didn't they break up because she like was a little too much?
Yeah, but she already just talked about how she went on that spiritual journey and just sat with herself. She has never sat with herself. So maybe she's like a new person. She kind of seemed like it. She came in, took the spare key, which, first of all, let me tell you, even if we dated and I'm having your baby, please do not use my spare key and just show up at my place and be in there and doing the stuff, because I don't like that.
That's what, remember when Travis walked into those people's house with the dog because the spare key was under the mat? And I said something. It's like in TV land, there are spare keys under the mats, but in real life, there should not be because it's not safe.
And just don't do it. It's rude. Like, you better call first. You better text me and say, I'm on my way, or I'm going to your house. Is that okay? Thank you. Let's talk about the first... Actually, I want to talk about Jack and Vasquez and Diane, I think her name is.
Vasquez's wife?
Yeah.
I think it was Eva I wrote down. Yeah, Eva Vasquez.
So... First of all, I can't believe Jack's still sleeping with her.
But now we understand why, because he just likes to have somebody.
And I get it, but this is a bad situation because we already see that Vasquez is coming off as a little crass, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as he finds out, I think it's going to be just a bad situation all the way around.
I know. I don't want Jack to get beat up, but like the fact that Eva ghosted him with that text, we all know what it's like when you see those 3 dots and you think something's going to be said and it doesn't. It just like hurts your feelings.
Yeah, but I think she's also establishing to him, like, this is not a thing. We're not dating. This is a strict sexual booty call thing only. So don't be texting me, like, because you could see that he texts like 3 times.
I know, but
I hope you're having a great day. Like, she already said she's not your girlfriend. She doesn't want to cuddle with you because she already has a husband. Like, what more can she say?
I know. I can't wait to find out why she's doing this. Like, did her husband do something to her?
Have you met him?
I know, but still, when he was holding the baby, now babies bring everyone together, but he seems so comfortable with holding the baby. So, I wonder if he, like, they have kids. I don't know what it is that makes him such a bad guy.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure that's going to unfold at some point as well. Let's talk about Pruitt and Dixon and how he feels like the fire department and the fire union specifically has abandoned him. So he's looking for workman's comp, right? And first of all, when Dixon said this is below my pay grade, I just wanted to slap him in his face.
He's
like,
the
just
worst.
slap him in his face. But yeah, I agree. Do you think these medical bills should be covered for these first responders?
I do, because like he said, yes, I understand technically, yes, he did grow up near a farm where he was exposed to different pesticides and things like that. But again, in his work as an adult, he was exposed to even more, which then, put him at risk. So the fact that the company and the job that he gave his life to for so many years won't support him is sad. But we see that all the time with a lot of military veterans.
I think it should never, ever be an issue. That's what I think. It should never be an issue. These people are first responders. They're saving lives. And they shouldn't have to then, in their older age, when they're dealing with health scares, have to deal with selling their homes and going broke. Like, there should be things in place for them that it's just never an issue.
And did you know he sold the house because of the medical bills? I thought he played it like, oh...
He did say that.
Yeah, he said that tonight, but I didn't know that prior. I thought it was just like him having this awakening in life. And remember, he had the girlfriend and they were traveling.
And where is the girlfriend?
Yeah. And where's Dean's girlfriend that his mama set him up with?
I mean, what? Show me some closure at least.
Know.
What is going on? Let's move on to the homeless camp. So the first issue. So we find out that this whole priority situation is a scam from Dixon. So Dixon wanted not only the photo op, right? He wanted the photo op, but he's also ex-police. So he wanted to have the win-win situation where he's cleaning up the city and he looks good on that side. What did you think of that? And did you think it was disgusting?
I did think it was disgusting. I think Dixon is a shady dude, and he's just going to cause more conflict within Station 19 and the city itself. The fact that he would do this to people that already are struggling, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know anyone who's experienced homelessness, but it is not a difficult thing. Your life is already hard. So the fact that the city is making it worse for you, and the city that's supposed to be providing resources to help you get back on your feet, you know, that's where the funds could go, or the media coverage could go to help homeless people, but instead he's choosing to torture them, and they already are leading.
They're already down and out.
Yeah, hello. You got cuts that you can't fix. You have no home. You know, people are sick, and this is what's being done. It's horrible.
So then we also meet Sarah and Ernie and Joey, and we find out that Joey has a broken collarbone, and what I thought was interesting was like, oh, some of us are bio versus foster siblings.
Yes.
But they consider themselves siblings. And then we have the flashback of Jack and his bio and foster siblings, and how important it is that they remain together.
Yes.
And how, you know, as children, you don't think about I think as adults, we might forget sometimes how important those bonds are in early years. But you see how important it was to him, and even to this day, it allowed him to empathize with that situation that they're going through, and he knows it because he's lived it and been there, done that. And I just thought it was really, really special.
Do you think Jack is going to end up like adopting some kids?
I
or
would
even
love to
those
see that.
kids?
Because when he said to Andy that he needs some people, and he wants to have somewhere stable, I was like, go ahead, stabilize yourself, and go ahead and get some foster kids up in there. And maybe these foster kids, because we know that they're going to be on Grey's next, and they were on Grey's next.
Right.
And, you know, maybe that's the storyline right there.
They could have play dates with Dean's baby.
There you go. We got your whole next 4 or 5 episodes mapped out right here. We see that Maya's at it again in between the 2 emergencies that we had. So we're back at the station, and Maya has this hydraulic spreader for an egg extraction, and she wants them to make sure that they're like kinder and gentler while they're out in their field. And I laughed to myself because I was like, I actually don't. If I was like a victim, I would just want you to save me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about anything else. What were your thoughts on that?
It was interesting. The tool that she was using looked so difficult to use and harsh, and yet it was something that had the capability of being so gentle, like and gentle enough to hold an egg. But then, okay, I understand an exercise to improve your skills, but then to say, do it with your
least dominant hand.
Yeah, I was like, girl, like, stop doing the most. You're going to have people hate you. You know, like in school, the person that's like the overachiever that like nobody likes because they just nobody can like be themselves around them. That I think that's what's going to happen with Maya. And I understand she's now the person in charge. And I do respect boundaries, but it's just the way she's going about it. I wish she would have come in and said, listen, guys, I know this is not what we expected, but please work with me here.
But she did say that.
After she put
No, she said it in the beginning. Tsahai, you were just... Tsahai's being a hater right now. She said that. She totally said that in the beginning, and I just said it in the beginning of our show.
Maybe I did it. It didn't come off the way it should have.
Selective hearing right here. The second emergency, we see this woman come in with a baby stroller, Sofia Garcia, and she's in the midst of a heart attack. And I thought what was interesting for her whole emergency was, you know, Maya was her first contact, and Maya was the same as Dixon was. Like, this lady is here, it's not an emergency, so you think it's below your pay grade, so you're just going to send her to the front desk. I thought it was about, to serve, not to serve and protect, but you know what I mean? To serve and help people, help anyone. So what do you need? How can I help you? Like, that's how I thought you should have handled the situation.
Agreed. She was very cold and distant.
And she didn't even, so you don't even know what's happening. You see a baby here, could be emergency. Yep. You don't know.
She didn't even look in the baby stroller. You just were
kind of like, which I thought was wrong of you, 1,000%.
Yep.
So the lady has a heart attack, and so they have this baby, and I thought it was funny when Jack came into the room, they're all talking, and, Dean's with the baby and actually really bonding and alleviating his fear. And Jack is like, is there another, like, random kid left here? And they're like, no. But I thought it was hilarious because, there were a lot of randoms.
I know, but again, can we focus on Dean holding the baby? His big hands on the little baby body. It was so cute.
Oh, my God. That's one of their baby fear. That baby was cute, though. Those little big eyes.
Yes,
really
adorable.
Let's talk about the job. So we see Maya and Sullivan have a moment, and she felt like he was undercutting her. And in regards to Andy being a jerk again and questioning her, are we a team here, guys? Are we a team? That was like so passive aggressive. I couldn't stand it. Like, we're clearly, like, I'm clearly team Maya right now, and you're clearly team Andy.
I kind of liked it.
But I just thought she was being such a jerk, like such an a-hole. Like, I couldn't take it. Like, you want to take that passive aggressiveness outside. So Sullivan jumps in. Maya feels that she's been steamrolled, that she's been undercut her authority on the first day. And she blatantly asks him, did I earn this over Andy? And he kind of is like, don't question the motives of people who put you where you are, which I thought was a brilliant answer, brilliant response. But what did you think of that whole situation?
There was a moment where I thought he was going to say yes and kind of explain things to her, but then he also connected it to himself. He was like, don't make the same mistake I did. So I was like, what is he talking about? So I think the fact that he was just like, just let it go, do the job, you got it, was a way to kind of just diffuse the situation. Yeah. Also, Sullivan, can we talk about these drugs?
Dude, he's got to get surgery. I don't know what his problem is. Go ahead and get that surgery. But moving on, because we got to get this part into the Jack and Andy moment at his place. Yeah. It was so special. We find out that they're going to move in together. Meanwhile, you guys used to be a thing, and then you weren't a thing. Then you weren't talking, and then now you are talking. And even in the last, 2 seasons, they haven't really interacted that much. No. So for them to jump in and be like, hey, we're going to be quote unquote roommates. Listen, I've been there, done that. Y'all are not going to end up just being roommates. It's going to be nice and messy.
Well, it was great seeing them together. I think, like I said, it's going to piss Maya off. But I think it's what Jack needs to heal right now, and Andy needs it to heal. They need each other. They need each other. And someone in the comments said that Ashley Powell said Jack is Andy's person.
Facts.
I didn't think about.
Well, but you know what? Ryan was really her person, but now Jack can be her person.
I know, Ryan gone, R.I.P.
Yeah. Let's move on to some news and gossip.
Yeah. So. So I mentioned Sullivan. So we have some news about him, but first, our girl Jaina, who the pronunciation is what I recently found out I was saying it wrong. So I think you guys were correcting me last season. Thank you very much.
Same.
She was she did an interview with her good friend Grace Byers, who you may know as Boo Boo Kitty from Empire. And in this interview, we found out a lot of great fun facts. You guys we'll put it in the link when we have our description. But in the interview, we talked about Jaina's Holy Grail skin product, which is sunscreen, and she's currently using Ulta MD. The makeup trip that she always used that works. We found out that Jaina used to be a makeup artist for MAC. Cool. And that's how she paid for her acting classes back in the day.
Very cool.
And she loves the Beauty Blender right now. And she doesn't have a favorite vacation spot, but one that she wants someplace with sand and sun. So I thought that was great. Now, in other news, last week there was a huge Oscar-related event called the Essence Black Women in Hollywood event, and Mr. Boris Kodjoe attended that event with his daughter. We have an image of the Instagram post where it reads, the caption reads, when Sophie rocks her mom's at gym rap on the red carpet, I had the distinct pleasure of taking my daughter to the most inspiring pre-Oscar event of the week. The Essence Black Women in Hollywood brunch honors our powerful and talented Black women by celebrating their groundbreaking accomplishments. Sophie has been taught about representation, integrity, encouraged by her own powerful and talented Black mother, who was inspired by love and creativity in the room. So in addition to them being there, your friend Tsahai was also there, as you see on this photo I took on the stage. But
She
not
said your friend Tsahai, not I was there, your friend Tsahai.
Yes, I'm your friend, guys. So I was there. I attended. And then we have I got a moment where I got to meet Boris himself. There's a little, if you play, it's a little video because the photo was a little blurry, but that's Boris and I went up to him. As you see, this guy in the background was looking at me crazy, but he was so tall, so handsome, and so gracious. I was like, listen, you're invited to the Station 19 after show anytime.
And he said,
he didn't respond. He just nodded. But, there's still hope. There's still time. We've got a couple more episodes left.
You got to tweet this and be like, remember me? I said, come on the show.
So that's our news and gossip for this week.
Guys. We're going to do our fire facts because if you haven't seen the show, you know that I'm a little bit of a nerd and I like to learn stuff. So we're going to learn a couple of things about fires in general. So the first thing that I want to talk about in traditional Chinese medicine, it's a huge industry now, and it's over $84 billion industry each year. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? It employs tactics as acupuncture and suction cups, as well as unusual ingredients like caterpillar fungus and dried gecko. But one method of treatment is gaining more attention as of late: fire therapy. This is supposed to treat chronic ailments, and it's supposed to lessen wrinkles and restore youthful energy, and it's based on Chinese folklore that says good health is a result of balance between the hot and cold elements, and presents it balances it within the human body. The treatment involves the use of herbal paste, an alcohol-soaked towel, and a lighter to start a controlled fire at key pressure points of the human body. Yeah, would you let someone put you on fire to soothe your skin and balance your body? I don't know. You better show me. You better show me some receipts. Show me some.
Look,
show me where you did it before, right. And I see that person is fine.
I would need Dean on standby.
Someone on standby. Most common fires, like campfires, burn between 590 and 1200 degrees Celsius. This temperature results in an orange flame, and I think that we've talked about this in the past, but it's always good to know. If the temperature is higher than 1260 degrees, then do we remember what color the flame goes?
Blue.
Blue.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. So it's all it's all about the temperatures, guys. And then I have one more for you. Uncontrolled forest fires can stretch for millions of acres. The largest recorded as of late was in Russia, and it consumed 47 million acres of land. Now, you guys know that we kind of are in a fire area as well out here in California, but I don't think we hold the record. So it's out there, and they go crazy, and they go crazy fast.
Wow.
So those are our fire facts for today. Wanted to do a couple of predictions. We did a few throughout the show, but let's do our predictions.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I think Maya's going to continue to be Miss Bossy Pants, but hopefully the team, she'll find a balance between being tough and bringing on some new ideas that will help the team, because she knows from her experience being an employee what they need, right? So I hope she uses that to her advantage and not to just like show everyone who's the boss. This whole Jack Andy roommate situation, visualize it. Jack Andy in a house, the foster kids, Dean coming over with his baby and JJ. That's my prediction.
All right. My predictions are, I think that Pruitt is going to take on Dixon in his, like, this is the last thing that big thing that he does in his life. And I think that he's going to find out that Dixon is really not for the station. He's just for himself, and he's going to root that out. And he's also going to get the medical money that he needs. I also think that we're going to see a resurgence of Andy and Jack in a big way. But my prediction is Andy is going to start to have feelings for Jack. Jack's going to still be sleeping with Eva or whatever, Vasquez's wife. Andy's going to catch them in the act and get totally pissed. And that's going to blow up in then Vasquez finding out. And then as Vasquez finds out and Maya is the captain and she finds out that Jack and Andy are actually living together and that whole thing, I think it's going to be like a huge explosion.
Yes.
A huge explosion. All of those people are going to be involved, and it's going to be messy, and we're going to love it.
Yes. And I also want to give a shout out to last week's commenters.
Let's do it.
Toes Girls, Prince Caleb, Audrey O, Nicole O'Brien, Tia Diaz, Zymer Trax, and Joshuana Washington. Thank you guys so much for commenting last week.
Thank you guys. Make sure you tune in every week. We love you. We heart you, heart you, heart you. And if you want to look for me, you can find me all across social media at Linda's So Girly.
And you can find me at Tsahai.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.